Good morning, everyone. This is Karen Whooley. I should bring my microphone a little closer so you guys can hear me. This is Karen Whooley. I'm so excited you're here. I'm so glad to be here on a Friday. It is the morning hook. Today is all about you. And it's a day where I want to know all the things you would like to see the live stream do for you in the future? I mean, I've already set in stone Whip Wednesdays, so that's a good thing to note. But I need some topic ideas. I want to know what you would like to see me do. If you would like me to do some hands-on talking about a stitch, you want me to do more book reviews, want me to do yarn reviews, other things. I mean, Fridays, I'd like to do a full-blown Q&A every week, at least one question that I have ahead of time. So if you've got questions, make sure that you go to this link, and it's also in the show notes, the speakpipe.com/Karen Whooley Designs, and ask me a question. And that way, starting the first week in August on Fridays, I'm going to be doing a question and answer series just for you. Anything that you want to know about, as long as it's crochet related. So it could be about yarn, it could be about gauge, it could be about how to be a designer, it could be about something that you've seen me do in my business over the years if you've been following me for a long time, and that you have a question how I deal with that or what I do with it. How to deal with new things that are coming into the industry. One of the things I'd love to talk about, if you guys are interested in how AI is impacting crochet at this moment, that's something I'm actually researching right now. But if anybody has a specific question about AI and how it's impacting crochet patterns or crochet books and things like that, let me know. I just saw everybody here coming in saying hello. Got Carlene saying good morning. Linda says good morning. Carlene says yarn and tool reviews are always welcome. Awesome. Okay. I am hoping to do more of those. Lately, nothing new has come across my desk, but I might review a few things that I have already in the studio. So we could do that as well. Any other ideas? Either put them here or put them in the show notes. I'd love to hear them. It's Friday, so Fridays are kind of what I call my day off. It's not really off, but it's more of I try to pace myself a little slower. And so this Friday happens to be the 10th. And on the 10th and the 25th of every month, one of the things I do is I do a special review of all my finances, and I, pay bills and do all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. But in the afternoon, I'm really excited because I have scheduled a class for me to learn. I'm very excited. I am taking a class from Joji Locatelli, who is a knitting designer, and she's doing a class on modifying necklines. Now, while she is a knitting designer, I'm going into it as a knitter as well, so that I can modify different things, because what I'm finding is a lot of the patterns out there in knit for me, just the necklines just don't flatter me. And she's going to talk about how you can take an existing pattern and modify the neckline. But the other thing I wanted to take this class for is to learn how to modify necklines, in just in a general sense, so that when I'm making garments, I can try out different necklines for different patterns. So one of the things that she's going to talk about is all sorts of different necklines. I mean, everything from V-necks and crew necks to turtlenecks and mock turtles and scoop necks. And her handout's got a ton of stuff. So I'm really excited to take this class because I think it's going to improve what I do. Yes, Carly, and I mostly like to wear V-necks too. It's so hard these days, though, to find for me, a modest V-neck because I am so large busted that to fit my size, the V-necks hang down my waist sometimes, so it's really hard. But anyway, so that's what Fridays are for me right now, and that's why I want to do a Q&A session, because I can really sit and prepare for those on Fridays so that the next Friday I have everything I need to answer your questions. So seriously, please start asking questions using that link. I'm going to put it back up. It's also in the show notes. Ask me a question. If you don't want me to play your voice online, I'm glad to not do that. I can just read the question. But please, please, please leave me messages about how to. The reason I am having you do it that way and not sending me an email or using a form is because what I'm finding right now is that emails are getting lost in my inbox. I'm getting a lot of emails that are not spam in my spam folder. So this is a totally different platform. It allows you to record your voice. And if you record your voice, it goes into, it's not used anywhere for AI or any of that. So if you're worried about that, don't worry about it. It's just like a voicemail system for me. But it allows me to play it on the video if I want to. And I'd love to do that. I mean, I'd love to hear some of your voices. So, and I know my viewers would like that too. But please, if you have questions, let me know, and use that link. There's been a lot of questions about why I don't show certain things, because, like some people say, why aren't you doing videos of you winding yarn? Why is it taking, I had a question yesterday, is why is it taking 12 minutes for a Q&A to start asking questions? And that's because I'm going so early in the morning, and I only have a couple people who show up regularly every single morning. So if you want to see these questions being answered right away, go and leave me a question. So any question, crochet related. So let me know. So Linda was talking about necklines too. She likes looser fitting crew necks. If I get a V-neck, it twists around until I'm half exposed. Yeah, I can understand. Everybody's body is different. And so that's why I want to learn about these, because I want to learn her way of doing it so that it actually works with a lot of people. So I can design different types of garments, even if it's not something I'm going to wear. I can design it for other people as well. Or I can have options in the pattern. So I can say, okay, if you want a V-neck, this is how you do it. If you want a crew neck, this is how you do it. If you want a turtleneck, this is how you do it. That kind of thing. Somebody told me recently that they like to make garments that have options like that. If they really like the style of a sweater, the way maybe from the waist down, might be an A line or something, but the neckline doesn't fit them. I can, have an option that says, okay, if you don't like the way I did this, here's how you can do a crew neck, or here's how you didn't do that. So, those are the kinds of things I'd like to see. So that's why I'm taking the class. So that's what my Fridays are usually like. And so, crochet businesses are interesting because a lot of people think that, all we do is sit and crochet all day. And there are days when I'm on a deadline that might happen. I might do some things in the morning, and then the rest of the day, like 6 hours straight, I might be crocheting. That is not the case most of the time. Most of the time I schedule my crochet time, and then around it, I'm making video, or I am putting together class materials, or I'm doing social media stuff, or I'm planning a brand new class, or in fact, my husband always says that I'm holed up in my office a lot. And that's because I have so many irons in the fire. Because I have my crochet crew. I have, patterns that are to be released. I've got, like 2 patterns right now that are in different states of finishedness. I have another one I have to lay out. Um, and so, there's always something going on. I've got this morning live stream. And that's another reason why I'm asking you for ideas, not just for the question and answers, but for everything else, because I would like by the end of July to have August, September, and October every single live stream Monday through Friday planned, so that I can have a calendar of what topics. Because right now, what's happening is on Fridays I tend to get Monday through Wednesday done, and then on Wednesday I do Thursday and Friday, and sometimes like today I knew what I wanted to do today, but I just didn't get it up and ready to go until this morning. And this morning I was up at 6 a.m. for a live stream from a YouTuber who was teaching about how to do different things on YouTube. So I was doing that. I was like multitasking, trying to get that done. So what I'd like to do is when I get back from Memphis not next week, but the week after, is to have a calendar that I can say, okay, on Friday, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to schedule this next week or the 2 weeks, and have them already on the books, ready to go, so that you guys know what my topics are going to be out Monday through Friday. You can always plan for Wednesday being Whip Wednesday. And starting in August, I really want to do the Q&A every Friday. So yes. Carlene says, I love the mix and match of patterns. I know they're great for the maker, but a ton more work for designers. And yes, it is. It's a ton of work. But is starting in 2027, I just decided that I'm going to do only max 6 new patterns a year. So what that allows for me, and it allows for me to work on a book if I want to do another book, which I have 2 ideas for books, and I'm trying to decide which one would be the best one to do first and when I can get it released. But then also, by doing only 6 patterns a year, I can be creating patterns that are a little more in depth. I can do, videos with them if you're interested in videos. I can do a lot more with a pattern. I've been getting a lot of feedback from my people saying, yeah, I love your pattern, but I learn from videos better. I learn, and then I've got the opposite where it's like, okay, I am used to learning from videos. I don't know how to read the text. So there's this whole mindset that I'm trying to figure out, how can I help both of those people? How can I teach? So I've got an idea that might be going online early next year about how to help those people who only learned from videos. And if someone releases a pattern that does not have any video, how to read a pattern. That I've already got on the hook, and I've got some ideas on how to do that. It's the reverse of one thing I'm not used to, and this is after 28 years of designing patterns. Video was not a thing when I started. So trying to remember as I'm working on something new to record parts of it. Because the hardest part, especially with something like a garment, is to go back and actually have to remake the entire thing just to be able to get a video of some particular part. So one of the things I want to be able to do is, once I've figured out something for a pattern, like let's say I'm going to do some really cool detail work around the neckline. Let's say I'm going to do a specific cable that goes around the neckline that just kind of finishes it, instead of just a plain double crochet. Let's say it's just going to give you like a feature right here at the neckline. Once I figure it out, to rip it out and then do it on camera, explaining what's happening, so that you as the end user gets that kind of thing. So those are the kinds of things I have planned in 2027 and going forward. So stay tuned for all that. But I need your feedback. So if you're watching this after the fact, please in the comments leave me a message saying, this is what I'd like to see. I am not adverse to someone saying, "Hey, I want to learn the bean stitch," and I really can't find a video that really explains things well. And if you could do it live online and while I'm on, and I can ask you questions, I can do stuff like that. I can't do super complicated things because these videos are limited to 30 minutes, and there's a reason for that because most days right after this, within a half an hour, I have something else that I have to get done. It's either another call or I am taking a class, or because I'm in a couple of business groups, they do a lot of online video stuff at 9 a.m. So kind of 9 a.m. is kind of my window where it's like, okay, I got to get stuff done before that so that I can be in this call, or I can watch this video, or I can talk to this person. It's usually, that's what I usually try to do, is keep everything in the morning that's video related. And then from 10 o'clock on, I try to keep it where I'm working behind the scenes. That's why I want to schedule things out. And the other thing I wanted to make everybody aware of while I'm thinking about this is that every Monday I'm going to go live at 7:30 a.m. That's because I have a call every Monday morning at 8 a.m. So I'm going to, and sometimes I might start 5 minutes early, depending like that, how that works. So just know. So if you look at the show notes for today's call, I have a note there saying I go live at 7:30 on Mondays and then 8 Tuesday through Friday. So that's just something to think about also. But honestly, guys, I just saw Linda posted, I love patterns with videos. Yes, I know a lot of people do. I am not one of those people, though, that feels like I should be putting the entire pattern up on the web. I don't like that. That's just something for me. I have a lot of people who have said they get tired of watching someone do double crochet all the way across. So my videos will be anything that's new, a new construction, a new let's say I'm making let's go back to this neckline that I was saying. So let's say the whole garment is double crochet until you get to the neckline and the sleeves. And I'm going to do cables here around the neckline and here around the cuffs. The only thing I'm going to show is how I do the cable around the neckline. And if there's something different about the cuff, I would do a video for the cuff as well. But straight up and down double crochet, you guys don't need to see that. My patterns are developed for advanced beginner to advanced crocheters. I'm kind of in that sweet spot. I do some beginner crochet, and there's going to be more beginners crochet on video coming for those. So if you have a friend who really is a beginner and wants to learn some more things about beginning crochet, send them to my channel, tell them they'll like and subscribe, because in 2027, I have plans. There are some plans for that part of it. But that's the kind of video you're going to see from me. Is I'm not going to do, there's several designers that I know that literally go row by row, or they go, if it says, row 17 to 28, repeat row 16, they show every row, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. So it does depend on your audience. And my audience, my target audience are, advanced beginner to intermediate to professionals. Basically, I have a lot of professionals who follow me on social media, not just here on YouTube, but on social media, because I do things differently than everybody else, and we all kind of follow each other to see other ways to learn things. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yes, Carlene, it does depend on your audience. That's why I want questions. And I want comments about what you'd like to see me do, other than book reviews and yarn reviews. I'm glad to maybe in 30 minutes go through how I come up with an idea on a pattern and how I work myself through it. That's something actually I'm going to be teaching in Memphis a little bit. I'm going to talk about how I walk through, even doing a book. So, um, if you're interested in that, I can condense it down for a pattern and give you all the steps in 30 minutes. So, anything you're interested in, let me know. So, and then if you have a question, don't forget, if this is for questions only, it's the Q&A on Fridays. Use the speak pipe um, to ask me a question. Okay. So since it is Friday, I'm going to open it up to a question here just to see if anybody has a question that they want to ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So it's been a busy week, and next week is going to be crazy. One of the things I want to ask you guys, though, or I'm going to tell you guys, not ask you guys, is that when I'm in Memphis, I'm going to have some pre-recorded video here, but I may go live, or I will post either some shorts here on YouTube, or if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be posting probably either stories or reels. About the trip. I can't guarantee I'm going to do a ton of them because I'm going to be hopping most days, but I might at the end of the day do a wrap up or something of what's gone on, because I do have a lot of downtime in the evenings. There's one evening that there's something at 9 p.m., but between like 4 and 9, I have this wide open space. So I don't know what's going to happen. I might have somebody that wants to chat with me, but that's kind of where I'm at. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on at the retreat, let me know, and I will do some recordings, or you can watch me live. There's a couple times I may go live, especially in the evening. It may not be in this format. It might be more on Instagram. So if you're following me on Instagram, you've already know if in the show notes or the description below, you'll see a link to follow me on Instagram. I tend to do vertical lives when I'm at an event, because it's just easier for me to hold my phone and do it that way. I can't really do these. I could do these verticals, but I don't want to carry my tripod with me everywhere. And I'm not taking my laptop with me everywhere. So that's what's going to happen. So anyway, I guess I'm going to sign off, but that would be fun to see. Okay, cool. So I'm planning to do some stuff for sure. I just don't know how consistent I will be while I'm gone. So I'm going to be gone. I leave Wednesday. So Wednesday, it'll start being pre-recorded here. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are pre-recorded. And then, but I'll be gone from Wednesday. Wednesday's my travel day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I teach. And then on Sunday, I fly home. So it's another travel day. So just so you know what's going on. So, oh, good. Okay, Linda, I will definitely do some streaming or some short videos and do some shorts here. What I might do is I might live stream on Instagram and then repost those shorts as shorts here on YouTube. So if wherever you follow me, there'll be something. Okay, I promise. Okay, so I've done enough talking for the day. I got to go and start working on some financial stuff. So I'm going to sign off. But again, if you're watching after the fact, please, please, please leave me a comment of ideas that you would like to see me cover over the next 2-3 months. Like I said, I'd like to have the entire schedule through October figured out by the end of this month. And they may not all show up in YouTube's that this is happening this day and this is happening this day, but at least a couple weeks in advance. So I'm not constantly trying to create all my thumbnails and everything, every day. And also, if you have a question for the Q&A days, make sure you use that speak pipe. I'm going to put it up one last time right here, but it's always in the show notes as well. So make sure you utilize that to ask me questions. And again, in the comments, let me know what types of topics you'd like to see me cover. So have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here, everybody. I will see you Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye, y'all.